Hello everybody, this is Arindam Bag here and today our topic is crime and punishment. In my previous class, we have discussed about the first part 1 and part 2. So today we are going to discuss about part 3, 4, 5, 6. I will try to do that at least. So, so what's going on here? So Razmukin tends to Raskolnikov and managed to convince the distressed mother and sister and they return to their apartment. And maybe because Dunya is beautiful, when he was kind of overwhelmed. So when they returned the next morning, Raskolnikov improved a bit. He was drunk earlier night, no? But still he's mentally distracted, and he demands that Dunya should break the engagement with Luzin. But Dunya was not ready to give up this marriage. So Mrs. Raskolnikov received a note from Luzin, from this fellow, and there was a reference to an incident that the letter speaks about a particular event which he witnessed himself. 25 rubles was given to an unmarried woman of immoral behavior, which is none other than Sonia. He himself saw this. So that's why he requested not to present Raskolnikov in future meetings. He do not want to see him. But Dunya decided there should be a meeting at which both Luzin and her brother should be there. Raskolnikov also agrees to attend, even along with Razmukin also is there. But Raskolnikov was surprised to see Sonia there. Sonia suddenly appeared there and she explained that he left his address with them last night, and she has to come to invite him to attend her father's funeral. Her father passed away. I told you in the last presentation. So when she was about to leave, Raskolnikov told her that he will visit soon. Now the next part we can see Raskolnikov and Razmukin. They are about to see Porfiry Petrovich. He was the investigating officer. He was investigating the murder, and there Raskolnikov senses that Porfiry might have suspected him about this murder because he's committed some crime now. So he was always you know, he was afraid. So there's been a discussion going on between Porfiry and Zamitov, and there was an ironic tone during the conversation. So he was extremely curious about Raskolnikov's recent article, and that article's title was On Crime, where he is suggesting that certain rare individuals, the benefactors and geniuses of mankind, have right to step across legal and moral boundaries if those boundaries are an obstruction to the success of their idea. So this is the very idea which has been proposed by Raskolnikov himself in his own writing, and Porfiry and Zamitov, they were discussing about it. Raskolnikov defended himself skillfully, but he is alarmed and angered by Porfiry's insinuating tone. So there has been an appointment made again in the police bureau on the following morning, and Razmukin with his mother and sister, he left. Razmukin with his mother and sister. Raskolnikov returned to his own building. So he was surprised to see someone there. He find an old artisan there, and the artisan didn't say anything. The only thing, one word he said was murderer. He said only this one thing here, murderer, and nothing else. He didn't say anything else, and walks off. Raskolnikov was petrified, and he falls into thought and then sleep. And when he woke up, he find another complete stranger present this time, a man of aristocratic appearance. The man politely introduced himself as Arkady Ivanovich Vidrigaliev. So this is what happens in part 3. So moving to part 4, we can see Raskolnikov and Vidrigaliev, they are having some sort of discussion there, and Vidrigaliev claims no any he don't have any romantic interest in Dunya, but he do not want to he do not want the marriage between Dunya and Luzin. So, and he offered her 10,000 rubles. Raskolnikov refuses. He says, "Well, I'm not supposed to stop this marriage, and I will not provide you any meeting." Vitry mentions that his wife, who defended Dunya at the time of unpleasantness, she died recently, and she left 3,000 rubles in her will, big amount. So there was a meeting going on. Later on, there was a meeting going on. Luzin and Vidrogalio, they were having a discussion, and suddenly Vidrogalio informs that his wife left 3,000 rubles for Dunya, and Luzin was very much aggressive with this. And when Dunya insists on resolving the issue with her brother Raskolnikov, Raskolnikov immediately mentions about that letter, which was addressed to his mother. It was written by Luzin regarding that Sonia and other things. You might remember in part 3, now. So Luzin became reckless, and he actually exposed himself. And Dunya was very much furious about it, and she said never to come back again. Now the things are changing over here. Dunya accepted this marriage proposal, or rather she was curious about this marriage because of the family condition. To support the family condition, she accepted the marriage proposal with Luzin. Luzin is not a good person, even she also knows it. Now when she is confirmed that she is getting 3,000 rubles from Vidrogaliov's dead wife she has left a will, and according to that will she is supposed to get 3,000 ruble. So the situation has been changed. Now they are planning for the future. But Raskolnikov suddenly gets up and told them maybe this is the last time, he says. He instructs baffled Razmukin to remain and always care for them. He instructed his friend Razmukin, please be careful about my family, and please protect them. So everyone was baffled. What happened? Baffled. What happened? Why Raskolnikov is thinking in this way, or why is he saying in this way? Because Raskolnikov was suspicious that that police officer, the police might knows, or he is the prime suspect. So there is a chance, there is a very good chance that he might be caught for committing the murder. I even remember that artisan who said murder and nothing. He said nothing and left. There is chances that that artisan might reach to that police, and he might have shared that information. So next, what happens? Raskolnikov proceed to Sonia's place. He went to visit Sonia's place, and Sonia was very much gratified. She was like, very much happy to see him there. But Sonia he asked series of merciless questions about her terrible situation. So he was asking Sonia very difficult questions, and what happened actually. So there we have reference also that what is the terrible condition right now of Katerina Ivanova and their children. Raskolnikov even realized that Sonia is sustained only by her faith in God. She has a deep faith in her God. She even reveals that she was a friend of the murdered Lizaveta. Lizaveta is that woman who was also killed by Raskolnikov. In fact, Lizaveta gave her the cross and a copy of Gospels. She passionately reads them, and realizing this situation, she also informs that her fascination with her, which had begun at the time when her father spoke of her, increases, and he decides that they must face the future together. When he is about to leave, he told that I will come back and I will tell you who actually killed Lizaveta. He was not aware of this fact that Lizaveta was actually a good friend or very close associate of Sonia. Now, Raskolnikov realized that he actually killed Lizaveta, who was a very close aide or very close friend of Sonia. So Raskolnikov finally visited the police station, and there was Porfiry, So there was some sort of ironic chatter was also there, making direct without ever direct accusation. So Raskolnikov was getting angry, and Porfiry even hints that there is a little surprise um, behind the partisan in his office and so on. So suddenly, what happens? There was a hustle bustle outside the door, and there was a young man, Mikolka. He was actually a painter. He suddenly appears, and some policeman was after him. Porfiry and Raskolnikov was astonished to see things like this. They were not ready for this. Mikolka suddenly appears and loudly confesses that he himself murdered. So it was a turn of event, we must say. And Porfiry didn't believe this confession, but still, Porfiry had to let Raskolnikov go. So Raskolnikov was horrified when he went back to his place. When he saw that artisan again, he was horrified. Now what? But suddenly he found that the artisan begged for his forgiveness, and he realized that that artisan was that little surprise. But when he heard that Mikolka confessed, he believed it, and that's why he came back for forgiveness. So uh, it has been clear that it is this artisan who actually reported Porfiry about the behavior of Raskolnikov. So we are moving to part 5. Here we can see that Marmeladov's post funeral banquet was going on, and it was going on inside Katrina's apartment, and the condition there was a bit the atmosphere was deteriorating because most of the people were drunk, and Katrina was kind of half mad, and she was abusing her German landlady, and there was chaos. Suddenly Luzin appeared, and he said that he don't find 100 ruble banknote after the visit of Sonia. So basically he is accusing Sonia that Sonia stole 100 rubles from Luzin. So Katrina was furious about it, and Katrina was abusing Luzin, and because Katrina believes that Sonia is not that kind of person, but still Luzin was abused by Katrina also. Katrina saying that you are wrong, it's not right. So let me show you that Sonia has nothing. But when she was doing this, 100 ruble banknotes was found in her pocket. So, seeing that, everybody was surprised and thought maybe Luzin was right. So there was like Sonia was in a very bad position, and everybody was blaming her, kind of looking amazed, and they don't believe that Sonia could do something like that. Suddenly, there was another character. His name is Lebzhatnikov. He said, "Well, I don't think that Sonia stole it from Luzin. Actually, I saw Luzin put that money on Sonia's pocket, and he thought that he was actually helping Sonia anonymously, and he thought it's a noble work to do. And when Raskolnikov heard about this, he also said, "Well, I know why. Then now I realize why you are actually creating a situation like this. You are trying to defame Raskolnikov himself and Sonia." Raskolnikov explained this matter to everyone. So Luzin is discredited, but Sonia was traumatized. She went back to her room. She was followed by Raskolnikov, and there Raskolnikov was about, or rather prelude to his confession, that he is the murderer of the old woman and Elizabeth, and he painfully explains why he did this crime. So Sonia was horrified at this crime, and but at his own self torture, and tells him that he must hand himself to the police. So this is her plan. Suddenly, Levzyanikov appears and said that landlady kicked Katrina out of her apartment. Now she is on street with her children, and she is forcing her children to perform for money. They are near death, and she is near death from her illness. So they went back to uh, went back to this place, and they actually brought Katrina to Sonia's room. She was distraught. Ultimately, she died. Raskolnikov was surprised when he found that Vidrogalev suddenly appears and informs that he will be using that 10,000 rubles which was offered to him earlier. He said, I want to use that 10,000 rubles for the funeral, and I will send the children of Katrina to good orphanage. And Raskolnikov was curious why he wants to do that. He laughingly replies that his quotation, a direct quotation from Raskolnikov's own words, and he actually explained to Raskolnikov that he is well aware that Raskolnikov committed that murder. Actually, Vidrogalev resides next door to Sonia, so he overheard this thing. So that's part 5. So moving to part 6, Razmukin and Raskolnikov, they're talking to each other, and it has been mentioned that Donia received a letter from someone, and it also been mentioned to Raskolnikov that Porfiry doesn't suspect him anymore. But about the letter, Raskolnikov was certain that it was sent by Vidrogalev, so he was looking for him, and suddenly Porfiry appears before him, and he sincerely apologizes for his previous behavior, which was a bit surprising. Strangely, Raskolnikov feel alarmed that Porfiry might think he is innocent, but Porfiry's attitude was changed because of him, motivated by genuine respect for Raskolnikov, not by thought of his innocence. And he concludes by expressing his absolute certainty that one day Raskolnikov will be arrested. He knows very well that he is the murderer, and claims that he will be arresting soon. Raskolnikov finally found Vidrogalev in an inn, and he warned about Donia that don't try anything with Donia. But Vidrogalev actually had a meeting with Donia, and he mentioned Donia that your brother is a murderer, and that is the secret he mentioned about in the letter. So, and he reveals that he overheard from it, while he was staying beside Sonia's apartment. So Donia was very furious. Donia wants to save her brother, so she found a gun, and she tried to kill, but she missed it. Vidrogalev didn't move. He said, "Well, try again." But when Vidrogalev realized that Donia actually hate her, when he realized that, he asked Donia to leave. And later on that evening, Sonia discusses the arrangement for Katrina's children. So Vidrogalev gave her 3,000 rubles, and tells her that she wishes to follow Raskolnikov in Siberia. If you want to follow Raskolnikov in Siberia, then you can use this money. So then Vidrogalev spends the night in a miserable hotel, and he finally commits suicide because he don't have any purpose to live on. Now Raskolnikov says a painful goodbye to his mother without telling her the truth why he is saying goodbye. Dunia is waiting for him at his room, and tells her that he will be going to the police and confess the murder. He even stops at Sonia's place. She gives him a crucifix. At the bureau, when when he heard that Vidrogalev actually committed suicide, he immediately changed his mind. But when he thought that he is not going to confess that, but when he found that Sonia was actually following him, he realized that he made a promise. So he returned and make a full and frank confession of the murders. This is part 6. The last part, we have the epilogue. And due to the fullness of this confession, already another man had confessed. Raskolnikov still confessed. That's why he was punished for only 8 years in penal servitude. Dunia and Razmukin, they marry, and they move to Siberia. Raskolnikov's mother falls in and died. Sonia follows Raskolnikov in Siberia. But initially he was hostile to her. Later on, slowly they acknowledge each other's moral culpability of his crime. feeling himself to be guilty only of weakness. Now, after some time in prison, that his redemption and moral regeneration begins under Sonia's loving influence. So that will be all for today, and I hope you understand the story in a proper fashion, in a proper manner. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel and help my channel to grow. Goodbye.